People say that education is indoctrination. They have absolutely no idea what they're talking about. I went to university in Texas and I double majored in psychology and theater arts. And the psychology, if anybody was going to indoctrinate me, that would probably be the subject that they did it. But at no point in my psychology classes was I ever taught what to think about certain things. I was taught how to think about certain things. For example, in abnormal psychology, one of the professors was talking to a student about schizophrenia or something like that, and the student said something along the lines of, well, they're just crazy people. And then he got a major pushback from the professor saying, whoa, we're not calling people crazy in here. We have to understand why they are the way that they are. We don't write them off as just crazy. And all that professor was teaching us is not to make snap judgments about something. You need to look further into it and try and understand why that situation is the way that it is, or why that person is the way that they are. I remember at one point we were being taught about cults, and I really wish I could remember that lesson now, because it would be relevant today. As wild as it seems, I didn't really have to worry about any cult activity back when W was president. Although there was quite a bit of embarrassment anytime I left the country and talked to anybody about politics. But man, I would gladly exchange that embarrassment feeling for what I feel today. I think the current guy was the biggest gift ever given to George W. Bush. But another reason why people on the right tend to think that universities are indoctrination stations is because they don't understand that when you go to those schools, that you are surrounded by a lot of people who aren't necessarily like you. They're from different cultures, they're from different walks of life, they're from different backgrounds altogether. And you tend to find out that even though these people are very different from you background-wise, they're still very much the same as you in some ways. But a lot of times these people on the right see them as very different, and different can be scary. These are the type of people that order the exact same thing no matter what kind of restaurant they go to. If that restaurant don't have hamburgers or chicken nuggets, I ain't going. These are people that have never expanded their worldview at all, and they have no interest in expanding it. These are people that have never left the country because they have been told that this is the greatest country on the face of the planet. Why would they want to go anywhere else? So when we on the left are a little bit more understanding of other cultures and other walks of life and everything, then those people see us as the problem. They see us as the crazy ones. We're not wanting to just stick with the status quo like they do, so we must have been indoctrinated in some way. Brainwashed by those liberal professors. Because if you don't care about only your own demographic, then you must have been somewhat brainwashed on some level by those people. And this is what we're up against when we try and talk to these people who refuse to educate themselves. Because they have convinced themselves that not going to college is somehow a badge of honor. But if we don't find a way to fix this society soon, it's not going to matter if we're educated or uneducated, because this country is just going to collapse from underneath us.